Hello, you're watching Bangkok Post. I'm Janine Phakdeetham. Today, I'm speaking with Dr. Akalarp Yimwilai of Bank and Mr. Marcus Lim. These two gentlemen co-founded Zipmex, Asia's fastest growing digital asset platform operating in 4 countries, Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, and Australia. I'm here to learn more about Zipmex's success, especially following the growing popularity of crypto in Asia and around the world.
Thanks for having us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Great to be.
I just want to learn more about Zipmex backstory. So tell me, why did you two decide to start Zipmex? Maybe we'll go with Bank first.
Just the concept of people being able to access this new asset class, which was up and coming. And then Thailand had the law. It was one of the first countries in this region to actually allow companies to operate in this field legally. So that's when I met Marcus over here, and that's when we decided to start Zipmex together.
We see that this particular industry in the digital asset space, to be super exciting and super innovative, obviously underpinned by blockchain technology. And as an exchange, how we started off, effectively is a gateway for everyone to get into the whole ecosystem. And we wanted to be that first touch point for customers and slowly build out the value proposition as they go through that value chain. So we started off as an exchange, but now we are a platform that serves thousands and thousands of customers, enabling them to go from the physical world to the digital asset world. And so what's really exciting is that we're part of the digital transformation in Thailand, right? We're being part of the ecosystem and doing our part in terms of enabling consumers to get into the digital asset space.
Interesting. Thank you very much. What are the trends in the global crypto market and in Southeast Asia?
What has really picked up during 2021 was the involvement of institutions. Many financial institutions, many companies such as Tesla, Square, MicroStrategy investing into Bitcoin, where it didn't happen before. This is because now there is infrastructure which is ready for these financial institutions to come in. Rules and regulations are more concrete. They're more defined now. So there's a level playing field right at the moment. What we've seen happening as well has been the developments in the digital asset space. We've seen these non-fungible tokens, or NFTs for short. This has led up to what Facebook has now announced, that they're going to be building a metaverse. And they've actually changed the name of their company to Meta. And so we know that this world, this digital world, which is also including digital asset, it's coming in the next generation for sure.
Looking at Southeast Asia specifically, you've got financial inclusion, right, which has been a thematic for many years. And financial inclusion doesn't mean just allowing consumers to have bank accounts. There is a certain population that's still unbanked, of course. But financial inclusion really is giving a democratized access to people, right, to access the ability for financial services and also the ability to generate their wealth, right? Where we are now, and I think this is a real inflection point, where everything is coming online and digitized, right? Everything is through your mobile phone. So the ability to have that access is extremely important. We have democratized information, right? We've democratized music. We're now democratizing, wealth generation. And it's really exciting as we see this year, the number of accounts being opened, right? People participating, adopting digital assets, and then flowing on from that, as Bank has mentioned, right? NFTs, the metaverse, right? I think, we'll definitely see that developing and being adopted in the next 3 to 5 years.
Absolutely growing trend for digital transformation. What makes Zipmex unique? How do you differentiate your company from other players?
We were always thinking about 2 things, when we were building the platform. One was, naturally is, being regulated, being licensed. So you operate within this framework that people trust. And then the second most important thing that we focused on was customer experience. How do we get people to enter into this world quickly and easily and seamlessly? We try to make that as fast as possible. We try to make them be able to deposit their funds as fast as possible. In the case of Thailand, it's instant. So you deposit, it's actually instant. It appears in your account straight away. This year, we've gained over 500,000 customers on our platform just in Thailand alone. Globally, we're doing extremely well, and that number is actually growing every month.
Key thing that how we're different from all the other competitors is how we actually approach the market, and more specifically, what kind of value add do we want to provide to our customers, which is fundamentally broken down into 4 parts. First is invest, which is predominantly the exchange, and then we have save, right? How you can actually earn interest, and then the third is payments, and then the fourth is experience. So the way we approach it is how do we combine all of this together into one singular platform? This is really important because these 4 components effectively touch your people's lives on a daily basis, right? How we interact with money, right, to how we're now going to be interacting with digital assets. And that's the important part for us, and that distinguishes us from the other players in the market and how they approach their customers.
Thank you. What do you think about the recent deal where Thailand's oldest institutional bank acquired a major stake of a crypto exchange in Thailand? How does that affect Zipmex strategy and the overall picture of the Thai crypto market?
We actually see this as good news. It's a legitimization of the industry. It's now going to be owned by one of the largest and oldest financial institutions in Thailand. And we've actually seen, at the same time, customers trusting the asset class more, because if the oldest financial institution in Thailand can invest into this business, why can't they as well? So we've actually seen an uptick of customers coming in and asking about it and being interested as well. It's actually quite lucky and fortunate as well, because there are not that many players in the market in Thailand at the moment.
Yeah, so in terms of our strategy, in all honesty, it hasn't changed, right? When I spoke about the 4 pillars of what we're trying to focus on, in terms of partnering with other banks, we have Krungsri Bank on board already as an investor. We would look to also partner with other banks in the region as well. For the bank, it makes a whole lot of sense, right? They're providing, banking services to their customers, right? Digital asset is seen as an extension to what their customers can invest in and how they can grow their wealth ultimately. So I think for us, we're keeping focus on, the 4 pillars in terms of what we want to achieve. The first 2 would be invest and save, and then we're working on payments and also experience.
Thank you. How do you plan to increase Zipmex's market share in Thailand and in other countries?
Let's have a look at the last 12 months and how we have performed. We have effectively grown 17 to 20 times over the last 12 months. And the key here for us is building brand awareness, right, of who we are and legitimizing ourselves, with our customers and the audiences in each of the countries. So that's the first part in terms of building brand awareness. The second one is to continuously roll out innovative products, right, that add value to customers. So we've seen that with the exchange, we've seen that with ZipUp, right, and we're going to continuously roll out more products, right, that will add value. And that's how we would actually capture more customers to our platform. The key here, as I mentioned with the 4 pillars, is to build this ecosystem, right? And when you build this ecosystem, it becomes defensible. And that's how people are attracted and they will be retained onto the platform itself. Unlike some of our competitors are purely just focused on just one pillar, which is the invest or the exchange, right? We are looking to broaden that net, right? And that's how we're going to gain that market share. The third part is education. So financial literacy in Southeast Asia is still underserved, unfortunately. It's underserved for 2 reasons. One is obviously there's a educational generational gap with the Western world, and secondly, because of the language barrier. So our job is really to educate and excite people about this particular asset class and what the potential is and what is the underlying technology that underpins it. And if we do this successfully, then people will recognize us, right, as a key opinion leader in educating the masses, right? And that's how we're going to gain market share from them.
Second Bank, what is the outlook for Thailand's crypto market in 2022?
So the digital asset market in Thailand is actually the fastest growing market for financial products and services. At the beginning of the year, there were about 250,000, 300,000 accounts open for digital assets. Now there's 1.7 million. we've definitely seen huge interest coming into this market, and not only from the younger generation as well. I still think that 2022 will still see the same kind of growth. So I think in terms of the digital asset market, I think the subset of NFTs, GameFi tokens, and things related to the metaverse will continue to grow alongside the core traditional digital assets such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we actually have a lot lining up for 2022. Definitely we're going to be exploring the NFTs. The metaverse, we're still thinking about it. But the third and fourth pillar that Marcus is talking about, which is about spending and payments, and also the experience part as well, we're going to be focusing a lot more on that in 2022. And that's how we think we will differentiate ourselves from the market.
Thank you, Kun Bang, for speaking with me, and thank you as well, Marcus, for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us here.
Thanks, Janine. Thanks for having us today. It's been a great pleasure.
You can check out our full online article about this Zipmex interview on bangkokpost.com. I'm Janine Phakdeetham, your host. Thank you for watching. Please take good care and see you next time.